Hello, everyone. My name is Sam Wheeler, and I will be leading Inceive Interactive's Enterprise Link Building webinar. Today, we're going to talk about really fun ways for enterprises to build links to their websites using current website assets, which I'll talk about a little bit more. I'm really excited to kick this off. Just want to start off by saying if you have any questions, there's a comment section in this webinar. Somebody on my team will be following along and can reach out and answer those as I'm talking. So, feel free to shoot that, or you can shoot me an email afterwards and we can talk through any specific questions that you have. But very excited to get started. We're going to do a quick introduction of Inceive. We're going to talk about identifying linkable assets, researching the biggest opportunities, the different tactics, the prospecting process, pitching and following up, and templates, which can be sent to you via email if you'd like. So the whole point of this webinar here is not to show you how amazing we are. I guess it sort of does that, but we want to give away our process. So an enterprise team could potentially do these campaigns in-house. So by the end of this webinar, your team, you should be able to understand how to build a linking campaign and how to do it, and how to organize it and how to pitch and how to follow up and all that good stuff. So there's a lot of great things that can come from this. And we're going to go through and basically build a linking campaign from scratch. So Inceive Interactive, we're a performance digital agency. I am the manager of our link building team, and I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years. We've got like 5 or 6 years of data for our link building team, so we're able to see like conversion rates for different tactics and all that good stuff. But we specialize in SEO and PPC, and we work for a ton of really cool companies. Here are some, you can see some enterprises on here and some smaller companies. Link building for a smaller company is a whole nother animal, and I'm going to be doing a webinar on that as well, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, shout out to our clients. So let's get rocking here. There's 3 main steps to a link building campaign. All right. First is identifying the right campaigns. You have to research the opportunities and choose your tactics. Second is you need to prospect. This is the process of actually finding all of the opportunities and getting all of the information that you need. We suggest organizing them by tactic, which I'll show you when we start the campaign. And then third is pitch and follow up, and make sure your pitch is adding value to the website. So this seems pretty easy, right? 1, 2, 3, but in reality, there's a lot of stuff in between that we're going to be going through today. So first thing we need to talk about is linkable assets. All right. 3 or 4 years ago, maybe more, 10x content was all the rage, right? Everybody was saying, oh, you want links? Just build an amazing piece on your website that costs $10,000, and then, you'll just get people linking to it, right? Now, while this is still a cool way to build links, and it's really fun to have like a ton of stakeholders involved in making like a really awesome piece, like you see on this on here, that's like a travel guide for Burma or Myanmar. That's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about using existing assets to build links. All right. So this includes commercial pages, your homepage, blog content that's intended to rank, and other pages about your company. And it's important that we're talking about pages that we want links to, right? For most enterprises, you've already got a ton of links, and the whole goal is to make sure we're getting the links pointed to important SEO pages, right? So in this corporate.walmart.com page, like that's great if people are linking to this. But if I'm a link builder for the e-commerce team, I'm probably going to leverage people that are linking to this and see if I can get the links switched over to a better SEO page on our site, which is, something that we're going to talk about a little bit more. So researching opportunities, this is the fun part. Again, you'll see step 1, 2, 3. Right? The whole overarching theme here is you need to look for patterns. All right. One opportunity is great, right? But you need to find hundreds or dozens or thousands of opportunities that you can then build a campaign around. Okay. So, in your broken links, you need to look for patterns in the way people are linking to you, or subdomains that are earning links or to the different types of old pages that you have. And you also want to research the competition and see what's going on with them. And we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail. Second part of it is prospect. All right. You want to leverage your crawling tools to find all of the opportunities, right? If you see that you've got a link to one page on your site, it doesn't make sense to just email that one opportunity. You need to find everybody that's linking to that broken page and email all of them. And it's also important to get all the information at once. You don't want to have to ever go back to a page that you've looked at to find more information, because, if you have a list that's 10,000 lines long, every extra minute that you spend on each URL is going to add a ton more time to your overall campaign. And finally, start over. You want to build up 2 to 3 types of opportunities before pitching. Maybe the reason for that is you want to test pitch results to compare for future prospecting. Like, for example, most enterprises will have like thousands of broken links, and they'll also have thousands of unlinked brand mentions. So, picking those 2 as your tactics for the first campaign and doing both of them and seeing which one works. And then whichever comes out on top, you just keep hammering that one until the opportunities are done. So, there's a lot of opportunity. You just need to figure out where to put your resources to the best use. Cool. So some tactics here. And after we go through the tactics, I'm going to basically build a campaign and start prospecting. So this isn't the complete list. Most enterprises have thousands of opportunities. And like I said, the goal is to find a few opportunities and a few tactics that you can leverage that's going to yield the fastest results and that you can scale. So the first one, which we're going to go over, is broken links, which are your actual 404 pages, which are just broken pages on your site, old pages, or soft 404, which is stuff that's sold out or links that don't make sense. Maybe it was an old page or an old blog post that's now 301 to the homepage. That doesn't make any sense. So there's a ton of opportunity there. Image reclamation, which is basically people that are linking to your image or putting your images up on their page, getting links added. Unlinked brand mentions. And when we talk about that, we don't just talk about your brand name. It's your brand, any specific products that you sell, your employees, parent companies, any events that you sell, blah, blah, blah. Anything that's connected to you in some way is technically an unlinked brand mention. And link sculpting, which is one of my favorites. It's a way of not sculpting the do follow and no follow aspect of it, but more of finding links that are pointing to pages that just you don't care about from an SEO perspective and getting them moved to better, more important SEO pages. So that's a really fun one that we'll go over. So we're going to start with broken links here, and I'm going to build a prospect list from scratch. All right, I'm going to use Walmart as an example because they're a big company. We don't work for them at the moment. So, it's kind of a cool way to start from scratch and show you guys how to build this. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to identify some opportunities and do some research. Okay. So I'm going to start with Ahrefs, that they have a pretty good backlinking tool. But Majestic and Moz also has a tool that you could use. And what you'd want to do is pull the backlinks and whatever opportunities you find, pull them from all of the crawlers and build one like master list. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to just throw in your website here, and you want to see what's going on. So Walmart's got 63 million backlinks, 164,000 referring domains. So right away, I know there's going to be a ton of opportunity for this team that they probably have overlooked. So what I like to do is I first start just looking at broken links. All right, there's a button here that you can use to find broken links. Now, this broken link tool is only going to fire on their crawler when the actual page is 404, right? If your website's set up in a way where the site's 404 or the page is not working, but it's throwing back a 200 signal, then it's not going to be caught in this. So, again, the goal is we're looking for patterns here. All right. And one thing that I see right away from patterns is that there are a lot of subdomains that aren't working anymore, right? So what happened is like Walmart probably has let's start with music downloads. Walmart probably has a music downloads service that doesn't work anymore. Okay. So if I'm going to go, let's see, musicdownloads.walmart.com. Amazing. All right. This is some old service they had. I don't know if they still have a download service. If they did, I'd be surprised that they wouldn't 301 this subdomain. But so let's just assume that it doesn't work anymore, right? Or they just got rid of that service. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look to see, like, all right, are there enough to build a campaign around? So I'm going to search for music downloads. And this is just searching in broken links. So yeah, 2,000 broken links to their music download, whatever the services was. This is amazing, okay, because a really cool opportunity to load up some articles. So let's start with this TechCrunch album, this TechCrunch opportunity, and then let's do VentureBeat. All right. So TechCrunch, this is from 2008. It looks like it's linking to the main page of whatever the streaming service was, right? So this is a huge opportunity. TechCrunch is a great website. I'm not sure what the domain authority is. My Mozbar isn't working right now, but I'm sure it's good. So this is a broken link. We just want to double check that's broken. Cool. So this is a great opportunity, but if Walmart doesn't have a download service, what do we want? What do we want to link it to? So what I'm thinking is, why don't we do I'm sure they still sell CDs, right? So let's get all of these broken download links to their CD page, right? Or whatever music, because I'm sure you can buy music at Walmart, right? So I'm actually going to do like music CDs. Let's search for that and see which Walmart page is ranking. While this is loading, I also want to mention that look for the branded name that's spelled wrong, right? So wall2lsmart.com probably has a lot of broken links because it doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't work, but I'm sure people have linked to it, which I'm going to show you. I know the answer is yes, but all right, so music CDs, not as high of a search volume as I would have thought, which is because the industry is probably dying, but cool. Right here, Walmart has a page that's probably live, and this is their music page, okay? Great. So anybody linking to the Walmart music download subdomain probably can, it probably makes sense to have them link to our music page, and it really depends on what we say in the pitch. So this is probably, if I'm going down this route of targeting these music download subdomain, I'm going to use this page as the new one, right? So right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a prospect list, which I've already started actually. So, I have it labeled as broken links. Column A, I have the URL, which is TechCrunch. Right here, the domain, the DA, which my Mozbar isn't working. Come on, Moz, figure it out. And music downloads, the broken link, and then the new URL, which I haven't found yet, which is going to be this music 4014 URL. Okay, so I'm going to open this URL up on Apartment Therapy because I had talked a little bit about people linking to the domain that's spelled wrong, right? This happens a lot, way more than you'd think. So, it's really easy. What you do is you just type in walmart.com, or in your case, whatever the common misspelling is. It says there's no broken links, right? Because technically just the domain doesn't exist, right? So Ahrefs returning no broken links, but we know that the website or the site isn't up or anything. So we just want to look for all of the backlinks. And we see 319 links. Great, right? Seattle Globalist, apartmenttherapy.com, which is the one that I'm going to show you. And then there's a couple other ones that I have on my list. But so I'm looking at this here. and I see it's some article about Black Friday, right? So it looks like they spelled it right. They just linked to the wrong URL, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to pitch them. I'm not going to pitch apartment therapy at the homepage because Walmart's homepage has enough links pointing to it, right? It's an electronics section of the article, so I'm probably going to pitch the electronics page, right, or the Black Friday page or whatever. So I'm not really sure which page their team wants to rank, but do a search for electronics, which is probably one of the ways people search to find stuff. Search volume is pretty high. I'm assuming, 110,000 a month. So here's the page right here. Really good. So I'm going to hit these people up, these apartment therapy people, and I'm going to say, yo, I know you're talking about electronics. You linked to the homepage incorrectly. Instead of updating it to our homepage, I was hoping you could update to our electronics section because it adds more value to your users, right? So what I'm going to do then is go back to my prospect sheet. And you can see here I've already typed in the actual broken link, 2 L's. The new URL is on apartmenttherapy.com is going to be electronics. Okay. And then I've already found the contact email. It's like through their tech help. All right. This is really important because you don't want to email. You want to usually email like an editor of some kind and not like the marketing people. So here's like our contact us. I would not email advertising, obviously, because they're going to just try and get money out of you. I'd email the technical support. So I found that URL, tech help, and just copied it into my prospect sheet. All right, the next example here is the Atlantic. This is from 2010. It's about some update on a Nexus phone back in the day. I'm not going to ask them to link to the Nexus page. I mean, I don't even know if that phone exists anymore, but one thing that I found when I was looking for the page is that this paragraph is talking about larger micro SD flash cards, right? So what I'm going to do, which I already did, micro SD flash cards, I'm going to pick the page that's ranking for it, right? So when I hit these people up, I can say, hey, you're talking about micro SD ones, the URL is broken, link to this URL instead. And they're going to most likely do it because they're going to be embarrassed that they have a broken link in their article. So this would be the page that I would use. It's always important to look for the page that's ranking, or if you're in-house, obviously, you got to figure out, make sure you're getting links to pages that actually get traffic, right? Or that you're trying to get traffic to. So that's all good. So I've got my URL, the domain, the broken link on my site, the new URL, and then you can contact email. And then if it's an actual person, you want to make sure you put their name in. We'll talk about pitches, but any type of personalization you can use is better. Then you want to have contact date, follow-up 1, follow-up 2, and you should always add columns 2, follow-up 3, follow-up 4, follow-up 5. So started my prospect list for broken links. Now, I want to reiterate here that it's really important to put the broken link in your prospecting sheet because the pitch for the My Music Downloads broken link that we went through on TechCrunch is way different than the pitch that's, to an old domain or, that I want to be pitching to a different type of new URL, right? So when you're doing your actual outreach, you can organize by these 2 columns to make sure you're kind of sending your pitches your similar pitches all at once, right? Now, what I'm also going to add here is a column for qualified. Now, Walmart, for example, has thousands and thousands of URLs that could potentially be prospects. And I'm going to show an example of one that probably isn't. Okay, so let's use this one here. So you think all right, Walmart.com, it's linking to it wrong. It's some article from Seattle. It's from 2017, and something about soda tax. So I'm thinking this probably isn't a good opportunity, right? So look for Walmart, or I think the text was oof, man. All right, cool. So this is linking to Walmart in some comment. Not a good opportunity. Don't know why they put Walmart as their link on their comment. So this is not a good opportunity. But I don't ever want to have to look at this, or if I pass this project off to somebody else, I don't want them to have to look and qualify this URL. So what I'm going to do is drop it in here and then just do no, right? So what happens here is, I can set my conditional formatting to duplicate values. Now, if I drop in this URL, if I've got 5,000 lines long and I come across this URL again, or somebody else does, they drop it in, they'll know that it's on there, and then they'll know that it's not qualified, so they'll know not to worry about it. It's really important that you do this because, we've seen that people will forget that they saw something or whatever. So, and then what you can do is just, not show the nose, right? So, don't show the nose. But then what I can do is I drop in this URL again. It's like, oh, it's highlighted. It's not in my list. It's probably not qualified, right? So it's more like operational stuff that you can do or figure it out. So now I got my list here of some broken links. If the goal was to build links to this music page or the Walmart's music URL, I would say, all right, these are good opportunities. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find all of the music download opportunities that we went through, and then I can export them from Ahrefs and then go through them one by one. But we're not going to do that because we're going to talk about some different tactics. So the next one that we're going to talk about is image reclamation, I believe. So, image reclamation, is basically when somebody is linking or using your image. Okay, so you reach out to them and say, "Hey, thanks for using our image. Add us as a photo credit." Now, there's a really fun way that you can do this. So, what you can do here is, let's say. Let's say this right here, Kidz Bop, right? Kidz Bop 39, whatever is the 39th iteration of Kidz Bop. It looks like it's only at Walmart, right? So we might be able to say that this is our image, but for a lot of brands that sell other brands' products, it's not necessarily your image, so it's a little bit weird. So you want to make sure you're using images that are yours and reaching out to the site. So you can do this in two ways. You can do a reverse image search, which is, most people know how to do that on Google and just reach out to those sites. But one thing that a little value add to it is you want to create a Flickr account and host your images there, especially if they're like public domain images that you created or whatever. And what you want to do is you want to put a little note on your image that says, "Hey, feel free to use this, but make sure that you link to this." So if I look at this pasta image by Hat M, right? So down in the notes here, you want to say feel free to use this, but please link to walmart.com/pasta or whatever, right? And then what you can do is there's a lot of tools, especially plugins in WordPress and other platforms that will find images for you, right? You kind of it searches Flickr for you, and then people will use these images for posts or whatever. And then you can reach out to them, right? And then if anybody links to this specific page as the source, which a lot of people will, you reach out to them. You can pull it in Ahrefs. And I wonder if anybody's linking to it. I kind of doubt it, but you could pull it in Ahrefs, and all of a sudden you got a list, right? You don't have to do a reverse image search because you already have a list of people that are linking to you, right? So let's see if anybody's linking to this person's profile as a whole. Yeah, awesome. So here's a really awesome example, right? Hat M, or whoever this person is. Here's a BuzzFeed article. about cooking a student meal or whatever. And BuzzFeed knew well enough that you should probably put your source for what your image is, right? So it's some sort of quiz or whatever from last year. I don't know, kind of dumb. But there we go. There's that pasta image that we're looking at, right? So they're linking to Flickr and not the actual URL, but it looks like they were linking to the size of it, all right? So wasn't this full URL, it was the actual size, which was size L. So that's why you can search in your, by the prefix of your account in Flickr, right? So really cool opportunity. If I was this person, I'd reach out to them, be like, hey, can you link to my website instead, right? So you ask them to change, you're going to ask BuzzFeed to change this attribution to the actual page, which is really cool because it works. BuzzFeed, we get links from BuzzFeed all the time because they are updating this stuff. So really cool opportunity there. Going back, this next one we're going to talk about is unlinked brand mentions. Okay. Unlinked brand mentions are really cool, really easy way to build links. They're already writing about your product, but I want you to again understand that it's not just your product, right, or your brand name. It could be employees or parent companies or events. So there's two main ways to do this. All right, there's a bunch of tools that you can use out there to help you find unlinked brand mentions, but the thing that I want to talk about here is kind of how you narrow it down. All right, so you can use Google's advanced search operators to do this, right? So I searched for Walmart.com, quote, Walmart.com, minus site, Walmart.com, minus in URL review. And the reason why I did this is because, let me see if I can zoom here. The reason why I did this was because any type of reviews about Walmart products I don't want, because it's probably some affiliate that, I don't want links from affiliates anyways. I didn't want anything on the Walmart domain, but I wanted people that are actually mentioning the website because in this exercise, I'm link building for the e-commerce team. So one thing I found right away is there's like a Walmart credit card, right? So it's a Walmart money card. And this Walmart money card is separate domain, right? Which they want this domain probably to rank for a credit card and whatever, but there's probably a whole separate team on this. But anybody that's linking to this domain in an article or whatever, that is technically an unlinked brand mention for the main domain, right? So I'm going to run this through Ahrefs. Got to sign back in. So I'm going to run this through Ahrefs. And it's probably thousands of opportunities, right? I haven't done this yet, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot. Yeah, not 1,000 referring domains almost. Okay, so I'm guessing most of these don't have links to Walmart's main website. Because it's the same company, I don't want to take links away from the Walmart money card domain. So I'm going to ask them, hey, can you add a link to this or whatever, right? So Visa has an opportunity, but they're probably some sort of affiliate. TechCrunch has one. CNET has a pretty cool one here as well. So I'm going to open up the CNET article here. It's about Walmart no bank account makes online shopping easier. Okay, so apparently that's what this money card is. I'm not sure how it works, but I do know that this article likely does not have a link to the main domain. So here's the link to the Walmart money card. Let's see. Actually, a faster way to do this is you can just do Control U, the source code. It looks like it does not have looks like it does not have a link. Yeah, so there's a link to the Walmart money card, obviously, but not a link to the main domain, right? So this is a really good unlinked brand mention opportunity. So I'm going to take this URL, and we're going to figure like, all right, where can we put the link? Maybe the homepage here and like the unbranded mention here. Not quite sure how I'd attack this yet because we just got to it. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in my prospect sheet, which I haven't built out the unlinked brand mention. I separate this in new tabs, mainly because, let's get rid of that. I separate these into new tabs because it's a separate pitch and separate style, so you're going to have separate columns for what you need, right? So I'm going to have my URL, my domain, DA if you're keeping track of it. Is it qualified? So the DA here is cnet.com. Qualified, yes. Instead of broken link, I'm going to add unlinked mention, right? The reason for that is because, I want to be able to have this when I come back to the sheet, I want to be able to have a sense of where on the page it is, right? So I'm just going to put Walmart. And then I'm also going to put money card. So then I'm going to do new URL, contact, contact name, follow up, or date sent, sorry. Date follow up, and then date follow up 2, date follow up 3, and so on, right? And as I follow up more and more, and then I also have a note section. As I'm following up more and more, I'm going to make sure that I add those columns in. So turn that into a table. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to go in how to find the contact because we already talked about that. But in the notes, I'm going to put money linking to money card domain. All right. So now I know when I go back to make sure that this is the same style of I'm probably going to find a bunch of these money card ones just so I know that they're the same when I'm going out and doing the pitch. So yeah, now I have my prospect sheet set up. I'm going to turn this into like a template for anybody that wants to use this. So, feel free to email me and, we can make it, we'll have the template for the image rec on here as well. If you need it, just let me know. And you'll get that rocking. So that's one way to find the unlinked brand mentions, right? So what I'm also going to do is, you can also just go through these, right? And you can understand all right, Ebates, probably not going to link to them. Wikipedia, all right, same concept here. Walmart has a Wikipedia page, right? Are people linking to this? You better believe it. There's probably a lot. So I'm going to go back to Ahrefs, and I'm going to look at this. And I'm guessing, 17,000 backlinks to Walmart's Wikipedia page. Easy. All right, somebody could spend all year taking links from Wikipedia and giving it to the main domain, right? So really cool opportunities here as well. The Guardian, right, there's one. it's just you have to comb through these, which is the hardest part. So you can do that. And YouTube, same idea. Google Play, Bustle, looking for any type of page. So that's all good. I want to show another tool. Moz has a really cool tool for finding unlinked brand mentions. Thought I had it up here, but it doesn't look like I do. So yeah, right here, Fresh Web Explorer. So what I did here is I searched for Walmart and then -rdwalmart.com. So what Web Explorer allows you to do is you can look for mentions that don't have links in it already to whatever domain you want. Whereas, with Google search operators, there could be a link to walmart.com in here in one of these pages, but Google search doesn't filter that out. So the Fresh Web Explorer does, which is kind of cool. So when you look through this, it's important to understand that it's not going to get everything, so you need to kind of get your search. So this is like a tornado confirmed in Alabama, right? So this is recent, but it's just some article about a tornado. I'm sure it's says Walmart, Walmart, people were rushing to Walmart, or there's debris in Walmart or whatever. So let's do a search. Yeah, plants around the parking lot of Walmart. So if I was doing local SEO for Walmart in Alabama, maybe I would reach out to the site to be like, hey, here's the link to the domain or the store that you're writing about, but I doubt this is going to be adding value to the users at all. You can give it a shot, but I wouldn't because there's so many other opportunities. So in my unlinked brand mentions, same concept here. I'm going to go it's qualified. No, I don't ever want to have to look at I don't ever want to have to look at this domain ever again, right? So this one's a no. Nintendo Switch consoles come with a steeply discounted game at Best Buy. All right, interesting. Okay, you can buy this at Walmart, right? The thing is about Best Buy, which is interesting. I don't know if they're linking to... so it looks like they're an Amazon affiliate, which isn't really a good sign. So this might not be a good opportunity, but let's say they weren't an affiliate. I'm going to hit these people up and be like, yo, you can also find the Nintendo Switch at Walmart, right? Which I'm sure they can. So this would be a good opportunity. In the Fresh Web Explorer, it's also important to note that it only goes back for 4 weeks. So you want to make sure you're pulling all these opportunities every week. Oh, here is another one too that I was looking at. Let me see. This one looks good here. Minnesota News Country. Weekend DIY project. So this is probably some person that, has a blog that's writing about DIY. It might be like a branded post. Let's find out if this ever loads. So 98.1 New Country. All right, so it's like a radio show. So I'm guessing the DA is pretty decent. All right, she ran out to Walmart she ran out to Walmart over the weekend and picked up some pillows for their new bench. Awesome. They have an image here, right? So going back to ImageRack, you could use that as your opportunity, right? Or you could be like, you know what? Let's see if we can build a link to our Throw Pillows page. I'm sure they have a page for it. So I'm going to go Throw Pillows, see if Walmart has a URL ranking for this term, which hopefully they do. throwpillows at walmart.com. So here's the URL that I am going to pitch them. Okay, so this is a good opportunity. Going back to my prospect list here, I'm going to start with the new URL, right? Oops. I have to get all the information from this. Now it's important to know here that this is qualified, the domain, type that in later. It's important to know here that this is Walmart, and then maybe I'm going to put throw pillows, so I know that it's a throw pillow pitch. Important to note here that I'm not going to reach out to the writer either, because Ashley, unless she's affiliated with, she might just be like a guest blog or something, but I'm probably going to reach out to the main site or the technical support people, just because, you know, this person, this writer, and a lot of times in a lot of like news outlets, the writer doesn't have access to the back end, right? So you don't want those writers asking for you. You want to be able to control the conversation, right? So let's see. Got a lot of tabs open. Got to close some of them. Yeah, I don't know if this person works for 98.1, but I'm not going to reach out to her regardless. I'm going to find their contact us page, wherever it is, probably at the bottom here. Contact. Digital managing editor. This is who I'm going to hit up. Tim Lyon probably has backend access. So one of the things you want to think about too is, you know, you want to email, depending on the size of the site. You want to, you know, find somebody that's high enough on the totem pole that can make decisions, but low enough on the totem pole that cares, right? If you're emailing a college, for example, you don't want to email the dean of students at that college. They're not going to help you. So cool. Now we have our prospect list set up. I'm probably going to continue going through all of these new opportunities for Walmart and the Fresh Web Explorer because they are recent, right? And people like to update stuff recently. So a lot of cool stuff in there. And that is how you do on Link Brand Mentions. So next one, link sculpting. This is one of my favorite type of opportunities, and I don't have a slide on it, but I'm going to just show you in somebody's backlink profile. So I'm going to go back to Walmart's links. Now this is the idea of finding patterns in current links that are people that are linking to pages that don't add any SEO value at all. So it's not going to net new domains for your website, but it's going to help you kind of sculpt the link authority to specific pages. All right. And why this is important is because if you notice that an image file of yours that doesn't have any rankings and is in your, that's not indexed or whatever, you don't want people linking to that, right? You want to get that link switched to something else. So really easy, converts at a really high probability. It's the same concept we already kind of went through. You got to find patterns, right? Because if you're going to just do this on a one-off basis, you kind of want to bucket it into, patterns where there's a bunch of links so you can do more than one. So, all right, here are the backlinks for Walmart.com. Okay. Let's see if I can find one off the top. Here's a business one. That's Wikipedia. Let's do it this way. let's do the store finder. That's interesting. WalmartStores.com is linking to corporate.walmart.com. Wal-Mart is also 301ing, which is interesting. I'm not really going to go into that right this moment. I want to see if I can find an image file that's being linked to. Star Wars, right? That's probably all good. So I'm going to do image. So you can search for stuff, and you can narrow down your results, especially when there's 25 million links. You can narrow it down for words or specific product names or just different part of the URLs or anything like that in order to kind of, be able to make this 25 million backlink list manageable. So it might take a second for this to load. I'm going to X out of some of these tabs that we're not going to be using anymore. All right, while this loads, let's, we already talked about prospecting. Just want to reiterate here that when you're getting all the information, you don't want to have to duplicate your time, right? So you want to get everything at once. Your target URL, the domain, the new URL, the contact name, contact email. And if there's a broken one, you want the broken URL. If it's an image file, you want to put the image file on there. You just want to make sure that you have all the information that you need. So pitching. Kind of already touched on this, but there's several things that you need to be aware of when you're pitching, all right? Personalized intro, always the most important thing. So a good pitch has the following information. Number one, you need to have a personalized intro. Okay, that's pretty easy, but what people forget is you need to have a reason and an authority for emailing. All right, so if you look at this example here, you want to say, hope you're doing great, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. Hope you're doing great. My name is Sam, and I am a communications specialist with Walmart, right? You want to give them authority to make sure they know that it's a real, somebody with authority that they should listen to. I usually like to say community specialist or community relations or something like that, because that is what you're doing. You're reaching out to a member of the community, right? But you don't want to say you're really in the marketing space or you're in the marketing team, because then people think like, oh, maybe I can get some money out of it, and I can, I'll ask them for money. So I'm reaching out today because I'm working on building a catalog of our brand mentions. All right, this is our unlinked brand mention pitch. And I came across your article titled blank. So you always want to put in the target URL in your pitch. I usually put it in the first paragraph. The reason for that is you don't want them to have to look for anything, right? You want them to be able to look at your email and then do what you're asked. And the reason for that is if they forward it on to somebody, which sometimes they do, the person that they forward it to might not know what's going on and might have to ask, and they'll get lost in email hell. So always include the specific article that you're trying to get a link on, and say thanks. Oh, I was happy to see Walmart being mentioned. However, I noticed there is not an easy way for readers to learn more about us. Or you could say, if we're doing the music downloads pitch, you could be like, I noticed there's not an easy way for readers to learn more about all of the music that we have to offer. If it's not too much trouble, I was hoping that you could update the mention of Walmart music in the third paragraph of your article. All right. The reason is you want to if it's a long article, you want to show them exactly the location of where you want the addition to be put in. All right. And then you want to give them the URL. I usually do the phrase, a good URL you can use is : and then the URL. So that way it's really obvious which URL you want them to link to. Thanks so much. Hope you have a great afternoon. And sincerely, Sam. Right. You could probably add a personalized ending here as well. Or if you have a social team or whatever that you're close with, you could shout them out on social and be like, hey, our social team's always looking for good mentions. If you could update this, I'd be happy to pass it to our social team, something like that. But if you notice everything in here is about value adding to them. Okay. So your readers can learn more about us, right? For your readers' convenience. So it might not be the users, do they really know how to find Walmart? That's not really a problem, but you don't want to be like, hey, add this link and then it helps us a lot and it doesn't matter for you at all, right? So it's just kind of framing the conversation a little bit. And then you want to have a smart follow-up cadence. I usually would say every other week, hit them up, and you don't want to hit them up with the same pitch. Pitch number 2 is like, hey, I just wanted to follow up. Hope you're doing great. Blah, blah, hoping you can make that addition. Please let me know if you have any questions. And then maybe follow-up 3 is you make the ask again, right? And then maybe on follow-up 4, you start a new chain. So really just depends. And, we like testing out a bunch of different things. And what you could also kind of think about is adding the line, I'm not sure the right person to contact, right? Because if you add that in, maybe they'll point you in the right direction, right? If you could point me in the right direction, that would be great because people really like to pass the buck, as they say. So if you add that in, you could potentially find the right person without having to do any more like, trying to find a new contact email or whatever. So that pretty much sums it up. And, I think we were talking about image description. Nice. So going back to the unlinked brand mention, this is the best some e-commerce website designs, right? This is how it looks like it's still linked to Walmart, which is not that great. These are all images. This is stock photo. Another BuzzFeed one. Maybe they are actually doing this because it looks like they have the image credit on BuzzFeed. This one has affiliate link in there, so not that great, but you guys get the idea, right? Here's one that's another type of URL string or string parameter that we don't really care about. Oh, nice. All right, here's a search query. Okay. This is a really awesome way. This is like link sculpting stuff, right? This is link sculpting 101. So if I'm searching for funny pillows, right? So this is the string parameter with the query funny plus pillows. Okay, so what I want to do now is this is the pattern probably that all of their search stuff comes from, and it looks like people link to their search queries, right? So I'm going to, in my links here, I'm going to search for query equals. Now, let's say somebody's linking to this funny pillow one. I'm going to type in pillows or pillows. Here we go. Monogram pillows, photo pillows. So anybody linking to this funny pillows search string, which I doubt there is, to be honest, we probably want to get the link switched to this one that's ranking for the term pillows, right? So let's see, this is not loaded yet, but that's like a really awesome link sculpting tactic because this probably is adding value, right, to the user, but it's not adding value for our SEO profile. So I'd start there. You can also look for, pages that are just not ranking product pages sometimes. That's another really good example. So if the product page itself doesn't have any rankings, you could reach out to them and you can here's another one, WalmartContacts.com. Really interesting there. This is an interesting one. QuickBooks or QuirkBooks. Weird. So here's some food company that you can sell them at Walmart, right? Or that some food company that you can buy at Walmart. It doesn't look like the website's very good, to be honest. Not sure I'd reach out to these people, but so here's an interesting example. Here's an interesting example of, let's just try this one here. Tom's Hardware. Looks like it's a no follow, but for the purposes of this, and what you can also do if you've got a lot, it looks like Quirkbooks is there's a lot of links pointing to the Walmarts, so you can do one link by domain. We'll let that load. Meanwhile, it's something about Walmart. So here, the photo credit is Walmart. They're already linking to some search page, OP Gaming Desktop Specs. Looks pretty new from October of this year. All right, cool. So it's created a overpowered line of gaming laptops and computers. So what I'm going to do here is, instead of reaching out to get this link fixed, I would probably go like this. Overpowered laptop, or let's say overpowered computers. This is the URL that I probably want to build links to instead of that search query. Ooh, that's not good. So, great example here is no products matched. This is not a, either it's sold out or they stopped making them. Maybe they stopped making them. I have no idea, but this is not going to show up in Ahrefs, and we want to make sure that anybody linking to the overpowered pages, it's probably broken, right? So, New York Times, here's another example in the New York Times, I guess. Some search query, right? Want to reach out and give them a better page. So in this example, now we're going back again. We want to look for patterns here. In this example, it's a soft 404, which is kind of cool. So again, if you want to look for patterns, the query is a good way for link sculpting or a sold out page or whatever. So you guys get the idea. Kind of running out of time here, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this presentation. Any of the templates that we went through, feel free to email me and we'll get them over to you. Comments, we can answer any questions. Hopefully my team has done a good job of answering your comments. But templates we can send, prospecting, original pitch templates for Unlinked Brand Mention. That's the one we went through for broken links, image rack, and link sculpting. And in follow-up templates as well. We can do that. It's pretty basic, but it's always good to work off of a template. So thank you guys very much. And if you have any questions, please email me or put them in the comment section, and we can respond to you via comment, right? And if it's something you really need, feel free to give us a call. We're always here to help you guys. So really appreciate your time, everybody, and we hopefully will talk soon. Hopefully this webinar was helpful, and thanks again. Have a good, happy link building.